Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am a teacher turned homeschool mom to 2 little girls, and on this channel I share everything from homeschooling, motherhood, and everything in between. And today I'm really excited to do a collab with Tanya from Project Happy Home, and the topic for this collab is the homeschool mistakes I've made this year. So please stay tuned to find out. Okay, so before we get started, I wanted to share a quote with you guys. And the quote is from Plutarch. "To make mistakes is not in the power of man, but from their errors and mistakes, the wise and the good learn wisdom for the future." I wanted to start with that quote because I feel like it really describes us as homeschool moms, because we learn so much from teaching our children, and from homeschooling we grow in experience and as a person. And so really our mistakes over the year are our teachers that have taught us how to teach our kids and what to do and what not to do, and it's almost a process of self-discovery where we are learning so much about ourselves and what we stand for. So that being said, I want to get started with some of the mistakes or the things that I've learned over this homeschool year. The first thing that I've learned that I would advise any new homeschooling mom would be to breathe. I can't stress enough how important it is just to relax, breathe, take it easy, take a deep breath, and don't feel overwhelmed, because a lot of the times people are afraid to go into homeschooling because they just see that there's so much information out there, there's so many things that you could possibly do. And me as a homeschool mom, when I started, I was just overwhelmed, and it was like, well, what do I pick for my child? There's so many curriculums out there, and if you just go through YouTube, you will see a ton of curriculum and a ton of methodology of teaching and a ton of ways of teaching. And you look at each person and you say, oh my goodness, I'm so excited that person isn't doing it that way and that person is doing it that way, and you want to do all of them. But you have to remember to just breathe and just take it easy, take it one step at a time, see what works for your family, and incorporate those elements into your family homeschool. The second thing I would say is to take care of yourself first. As homeschool moms, we tend to be at the bottom of the priority list. We are the mothers first, the wives, the taking care person of the house, the booger wipers, the one that kids want to come be clingy to, and everything else. And you just need a break, a time to just kind of relax and say, hey, this is my space, this is my time. Whatever that means for you. It could mean going to the Target dollar spot and shopping, whatever that means for you. Just take the time to just go relax. It could mean, go out into nature, go out hiking if you have like a good area around you. Go hiking, go into nature, do something for yourself. It could even mean not having that much time, but just having enough time to pull in a good cup of coffee with a good read. And if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. So it's so important to take care of our mental balance and our sanity as we go through homeschool. And that's one thing I learned too while I was homeschooling, because I was just overwhelmed and I was like, I need a break. Having kids with us, as much as we love our kids, is hard. It's hard having our children with us 24/7. You're their mom, you're their teacher, you're everything else. And and if they don't give people outside of the house a hard time, they give you a hard time because they know you're their mom and you can take it. So it takes so much patience and so much out of you, just so much out of you, that you need that time to recuperate and come back to balance and come back to yourself, and be ready for the next day, next week, whatever that means for you. So basically what I'm trying to say is take some time out for yourself. You won't regret it. Okay, the third thing that I learned is not to be afraid to outsource. I was so excited. I was so excited that I was gonna get a chance to teach my kids, put all that stuff I'd learned in teaching and over the years into my own children, see the fruits of that. And it just, things come slowly. You learn. You learn as a homeschooler. You learn while you're teaching your kids what works, what doesn't work. And and at some point you realize I can't teach them that. I need to find somebody who can, or go to somebody who can, and don't be afraid to do that. I outsource things that I cannot tackle. As a mom, I get overwhelmed. I feel like I outsource that. And I outsource it to somebody reliable, somebody I know is going to be teaching them with the same values that I want to instill in my children. And so it's a trial and error process too. So, don't be afraid to. And nowadays there's so many really cool, websites and, programs online that teach kids the specific skills that you need them to. Like, for example, if I were to teach my child to knit, which I think that would be so great, I would not know where to start. And so I think I would outsource that into somebody, who would be able to. And I think that, finding somebody online or, finding an elder in the community would be such a great way to do that. And, letting them have that interaction with somebody else other than you, the homeschool mom, would be very beneficial for the child. So that's that one. And then let's see what the other one is. The fourth one is not to overplan. Underplan, but don't overplan. So as a teacher, I will tell you that when we're teaching in schools, and especially in public schools, you overplan, because if your lesson plans run out, there is chaos in the class. So you always overplan and make sure that you are using the maximum amount of time in the classroom. And this is for schools. This is for public schools, private schools, outside the house. But for a homeschool environment, you cannot do that. If you overplan, what will end up happening is that your child, you will not end up finishing what you needed to do. And your child will feel overwhelmed. And then they will feel frustrated because all of a sudden we're home and they want to do other things, and you are pressing them to do work that they really can't accomplish in that time frame, and it's impractical for them to even try. So I made that mistake. I would over plan everything, and then even though I didn't push my kids are really young, and we were taught schooling and pre-K, it's meant to be fun and activities and stuff. And even though I had activities planned, I was over planning activities. And so here I was with a line of activities, everything planned out, and my child is going through one, going, all right, mom, I'm done. I want to go play outside, or I want to go do something else, or can we paint? Can we do something else? And I'm sitting there going, but I have all these things planned, and my kids are not having fun with it. And so, yeah, so don't overplan. Like, if you overplan, you're just going to end up being frustrated. You're going to feel like you haven't accomplished anything, and you're just going to as a newbie, you will overplan. So when you see yourself doing that, just catch yourself, and then the next time you plan, just remember to put in a few things. Like one thing we take away from Charlotte Mason is the idea to do short lessons. And even when you look at scientific studies, the attention span of kids is shorter. As they grow older, it develops. But so having shorter lessons, having fewer but important things, is more beneficial than having several things that are all over the place and lots of things, and their mind is not wrapping itself around anything. So that's one of the things I learned. And then the two last things is not to put yourself in the format of school. So most of us homeschool moms, if we're lucky we have in homeschool. If we're not, we've gone through the public school system and it's worked out for us, it's been great, but at the same time, we have been, our mentality tells us to take homeschool into the confines of what a school looks like, the walls of a school, the structure of a school. And we tend to replicate that in our homes because that's just how we've been taught. And if that's how we've been taught and it's worked out for us, why not try to do it the same way? But when you homeschool, you have to step out of that box. You have to step out of the confines of that box and say, hey, what works for my family? Don't say, hey, let's put a table and a desk down. This is where we're going to do our work, and we're going to do this thing from this time to this time. And hey, that works for some families, but it may not for many. And what I'm saying is, don't put yourself through that trouble of going through the reason why we homeschool is so that we can have that relaxed environment and individualize our lessons and our teaching for our kids. And do that. Don't put yourself in the confines of what a school looks like and a routine of a school. You can, if that works for your family, you can. But for us, it didn't. So I had several types, like printouts of what our schedule is going to look like through the day, and then nothing really happened, and it just didn't work out. And so I've learned that I just need to let learning happen as it happens in my household, but at the same time, you as the parent, plan it out. Plan out where you want. It's called structured learning. It's like structured playing, learning through play. So you structure it, but you gradually slip it into the routine of the child, or the rhythm of the day, and just kind of let them say, hey, you want to let's do this, and then maybe the child wants to do it, maybe he doesn't, and if they don't, save it for another day, find something else out of your bag. And so you just kind of have to take, especially when you're working with younger kids, you have to take it as they feel, as they come to you. If they want to learn, and trust me, most of the time they will want to learn. They will want to be, learning something or the other. It's just a matter of you seeing, are you orchestrating that learning, around them. Well, at least that's how I feel. But which brings me to my last one: be creative. The one thing I learned this year was that I needed to be creative with my kids. Creative, fun, engaging. Don't let it be that drab, boring, like don't be that teacher that you had in like 5th grade where you just sat there and you were just like, oh God, this class is such a, a drag. Don't be that person. Make it fun for them. Have fun with it, enjoy that time. And this is a reminder to myself more than anybody to just enjoy that time with them, because they're not going to be that age forever. And I know everybody says that and you just feel like, okay, yeah, I know they're not going to be the same age forever, but at the same time right now I'm overwhelmed, but it just, that time is not going to be around for very long. And it would benefit us to just enjoy that time, take it easy, because they're gonna be schooling forever. Like they'll be in school learning something or the other, and you'll have the opportunity to see that, but you're not going to have the opportunity to have that little cuddle time, or that little tea time, or that little time with them, just doing whatever your family enjoys doing. So I just thought that was important, something that I learned this year, and I thought I would share it with you guys, and I hope you guys benefit. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. And I think that is it, and thank you so much for joining us, and until next video, goodbye.